In 2 trading weeks, this specific stock has gained nearly 50% ROI. So this is the part that I think is pretty crazy, is because of crypto and because of all of these, I think they call them shit coins or altcoins. My apologies for the language, but we become very numb to huge gains or huge returns. Right now, Rivian stock is doing something that's pretty impressive, and this is just my opinion, right? But very quickly on this 1 hour time frame, we can see this amazing rally that it's had from lows of $13.30 all the way to current highs of $19.70. Now, looking from overall lows to current highs right now, again, this thing would offer nearly a 50% return, or as you can see by this little trendline tool, 48% ROI from overall lows to overall highs. Now, of course, that's in a perfect world. There's no such thing as a perfect trade or a perfect investment. But the reason I wanted to talk about this is the news that was announced today was actually pretty solid. I mean, I spoke about Tesla and them beating expectation. But Rivian news is also something to talk about right now, right? Where Rivian exceeded the expectation from analysts on the number of vehicles that they actually delivered. There was an expectation of 11,000 vehicles to be delivered within this specific quarter, and it was actually 12,640 vehicles that was delivered. This really does compare to Tesla. And again, in comparison to the two, Tesla stock is up 6.9%, but obviously has been on a very bullish uptrend, where Rivian stock is quite the opposite. I mean, let's be honest, right? We can't just talk about all of the good and none of the bad, right? Rivian stock it sucked. I mean, it's been sucking really since it peaked of highs of 179. It's been showing signs of lower highs and lower lows, and we really have not been able to trade above the moving average on the day chart. And the reason I'm making this video, you guys know that I never like making videos about overly hyped up stocks. But this time we're getting really close to this moving average, and we have never broken above it, right? So again, patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't always have to. As of right now, the moving average should still act as a resistance. But now it looks like some of the fundamentals, especially with the deliverables, are actually meeting, or at least being of suffice, right, to the actual hype that something like Rivian or something like Lucid has always been presenting. Everyone always wants to be the lookalike or the next Tesla, but we've seen it time and time again with Nikola. They fail, right? Now it's Rivian, or maybe it's Lucid, right? Or maybe it's NIO. No one knows, right? But the reason I wanted to talk about this is because a lot of people look at Tesla as, a great stock to invest in, but Tesla's already well established. It's the leader in the marketplace. Therefore, in a perfect world, I mean, even Elon Musk has said it himself, where most of its market cap valuation in the next 5 to 10 years, based off of what Elon Musk said during their Tesla Cyber Roundup, is that he set an expectation that he believes that Tesla will become the most valuable company that's publicly traded. But it's not because of their vehicles. It's because of their Optimus robot. He believes that it will completely transform and really begin to present a need that the world doesn't even know it has yet. So for it to be the most valuable company, you guys recently heard that Apple sits at a $3 trillion market cap. That means that Tesla would have to 3x, right? A 300% ROI from its current valuation, a little bit more than 3x, almost 4x, right? As it sits at $886 billion, right? So it need to be a little bit more than 3 times that. If we look at Rivian, right? And again, this is all hypothetical because we don't know what the next top competitor for Tesla is. The way that I was thinking about this, and again, let me know in the comment section. This is just me thinking out loud. I thought I'd make this video. It's 4th of July, so I hope that you find it somewhat interesting. But the thing that I find so interesting is like Tesla is kind of like at the peak of what it can really do in this car market, right? And how it's innovated the market. There's no question that from his original mission of trying to change the marketplace in the way that cars are made, Elon has succeeded. He is uber successful, not just as the richest man in the world, but with what his mission statement was, right? And that's changing from a combustion engine to now an electric engine. I feel like the growth potential for Tesla for vehicles, yes, there's growth potential there, but we're getting closer to the potential peak, right? When it comes down to something like Rivian or NIO or what's the other one? Lucid. I mean, these companies, if they end up actually being one of their top competitors, there might be a lot more margin with them, right? And even in a perfect world, we're not talking about, in the next 5 or 10 years, but at this point, like we don't know how long it's going to take or if it will ever get to this price point. But if we look at it at its previous highs of 179 and its current price point, and this is after a nearly 50% ROI in the past 2 weeks, right? 805% return. That's 8 times its current market cap valuation, right? Obviously, we're still trading below the moving average. Obviously, this thing still has so much more to prove. But I think that it's just eye-opening for me, right? Because we all now look at Tesla, and Tesla to me is like one of the most valuable companies that's publicly traded. It's nearly one of the few that is nearly sitting at a $1 trillion market cap, right? I mean, Apple's at $3 trillion, but Apple's been here for a really long time. It's a little bit different with Tesla, right? Tesla, there's no question, is the world leader, in my opinion, when it comes down to EV vehicles. They lead the industry, and it's not just the cars that they manufacture, but I believe a lot of that valuation is based off of their software, right? The data that they've collected and how they will continue to try to innovate the market. Now it's like, okay, well, maybe when it comes down to Rivian, Lucid, or NIO, these companies are a little bit newer, so maybe they offer a little bit more of an early bird special when it comes down to growth potential. But of course, they can all potentially fail, right? I just thought it was an interesting topic to talk about because by being able to capture this stock right now at $19, who knows? Maybe in 5, 10, 15 years, what if Rivian even is at, $50, $60? I think that's still going to be really eye-opening to kind of look back on and be like, wow, Rivian is actually still here. They're still trying to work for their share of the marketplace, and they are a leading competitor for maybe Tesla, right? I thought I would talk about it. I think that based off of those deliveries, it looks like there are specific, it's showing types of demand. Does it compare to Tesla? Well, definitely not, right? I mean, we showed you how much it was that their deliveries, showcased, and it showed 12,640 vehicles were delivered. But when we're talking about Tesla, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of Teslas, right? So, I mean, 10x of what Rivian is doing is what Tesla is actually doing. And its market cap right now is at $18.37 billion. So just food for thought. Again, something that I'm going to be paying close attention to. I think that it's very overbought right now based off of RSI and MACD and just recent patterns. So I'm excited to see if we actually begin to trade above the moving average. But if we get retraced back down to $13, just something that I'm going to be paying attention to and watching as time goes on. So I really do appreciate you guys' time. Hope that we're in a thumbs up. I do want to remind you when it comes down to being able to watch me trade live every day, I do trade live every single morning at market open, and it's designed for complete beginners. So if you've ever wanted to see what it's like to see someone buy, sell, cut losses, lock in profits, I do this every single day exclusively with my LPP team. If you want to learn a little bit more about this, we're running our biggest sell right now, and it's the second link in the description down below. No rush. If you're not ready, but you have a couple of questions, send me a direct message via Discord, and that's that first link in the description down below. I really do appreciate your time, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.